Hello and welcome. My name's Melody and this is the 13th episode of the Melody Crochets podcast, where I come to you with my knitting, crocheting, and other craft projects as they apply. Thank you so much for joining me. If this is your first time, I hope that you enjoy, and thanks so much for giving me a try. If you're returning, give you a big hug, and I'm so glad to see you. Today we will be celebrating the 500 subscriber giveaway. Thank you guys so much. It's been so great getting to know you, and I look forward to doing more of it. Two things in celebration. We have our little giveaway. Let's see, I'll go through the prize in a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and post that on Ravelry. This is the second time I've attempted episode 13, so the first time the sound was a little bad, a lot of bad. I tried to negotiate with myself and say it was okay, but it just was not okay. So here we are on the 3rd of October, and we're going to do this right this time. So I'm going to go through the prize that we're giving away to celebrate 500 subscribers, sharing my finished objects. I have a couple, my work in progress. I have fewer. And aside from that, just what I'm really excited about this week, because there's a whole lot to be excited about in the yarn world this week. So let's get started. And by the way, if you're returning, did I mention give you a big hug? I think I did. I think I did. Also, you're going to be seeing more of me. I hope you're okay with it, but I'm going to be celebrating Vlogtober. I'm starting 3 days late, and that's okay. I have some video footage from the 1st and 2nd because I am a camera happy crazy, and I'll go ahead and put that in with tomorrow's, and then I'll be trying to post a video every day of October because Christmas is amazing, but Halloween is my very favorite holiday of the year, and I'm going to be making lots of stuff. I can't imagine just walking around showing you where I go because I think we all kind of go to the same places. I share it with you, but I can't imagine just making a video about it. So I'm going to be trying to share with you what I make because October is a huge making month. I think everybody gets really deep into their making starting in fall and then pushing all the way through to the beginning of the year usually. And then we all give our hands a rest through spring, right? I go back to socks. But I have lots of plans, lots of swaps, lots of things that I'm getting together. So please join me this October while we are doing Vlogoween. Some people call it Vlogtober. Some people call it Vlogoween. I like them both. I don't know. I think I like Vlogoween better only because I'm pretty partial to Halloween. So hope you guys will join me. Hope we all get to share what we're making and what we're doing. Today, I spent the day just cleaning like crazy. This weekend was amazing and busy and full of Cub Scouts and going places, and I just had to kind of catch up. This new schedule of homeschooling has really cut into my housekeeping schedule. So caught up, got him all schooled early today, and now I get to spend the evening with you guys, which is amazing. So one of my first makes, and I will probably be going over how I do these. It's probably not going to all be yarn related because I can't imagine making 31 yarn projects in 1 month. Maybe, but I don't know if you're going to want to watch me do all that. So I do a lot of other stuff. Like I made this mug. I have backstory. I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer and I would consider it my main fandom, and I'm a big fandom follower. And I saw Sarah Michelle Gellar, you know, Buffy, and she was in her Instagram story for her birthday, and somebody got her a mug that said, "I would totally survive in a horror movie," and I needed it. But I couldn't find it. I saw t-shirts, I saw everything else, but there was no big mug, and she had a huge mug too. I can't have a small mug. I would have to go back to the coffee maker 15 times in the morning. I need a big mug, right? So this is actually Earl Grey decaf because evening. I'm nocturnal enough as it is, guys. But I went ahead and made it myself. I used porcelain markers and Sharpies. The Sharpie was that silver right there around Totally, because Totally was the clincher for me. If it just said I would survive in a horror movie, I don't think I would have been as gap-jawed. But I was all about it. I said yay. And I used porcelain markers for the black and the red, and I get those at Hobby Lobby. And then I used silver and black porcelain markers for the totally, and then I go back with a really small black Sharpie because my porcelain markers are a little streaky, and trying to fix that up with the porcelain markers just makes it worse. So I went over the porcelain marker with the thin black Sharpie, the really thin one, like the ultra fine ones, and then I let it sit for about a day, and then I baked it. So I'll be making more because I have some gifts to give, and I can think of about 14 people that need a mug that says, "I would totally survive in a horror movie." Let's see if these mugs totally survive in the mail, though. I've been hoarding bubble wrap. Whenever I buy a mug, I try and hoard the same amount of bubble wrap and kind of stock it inside where I stock, because that would keep them from jingling with each other, and then I have bubble wrap when I ship. Let's get on to finished objects. First off, AddyDae Designs had a accessory along, which I was really excited about, and I kind of procrastinated because I was waiting for my yarn for Liula, and that's a lot of wraps. And then Cozy Cottage Crochet comes out with a shawl along, which perfect excuse. By the way, it's a September shawl along, but it's good for September and October. So if you have any shawls at all, go over, visit, chit chat, and then send in her fasten off thread because she's awesome. You'd love her. If you aren't watching her, you should be. She's amazing. And she mentioned the other day Red Heart Super Saver and opening it up, I think. I did want to say. So you point the heart at you, and then let's see if I can do this backward, and then when the heart is pointing at you, you yank out the left side, because that's always the outside thread, and then you yank out the right side, because if you don't, they get tangled inside these two threads, and then you get yarn vomit. You might still get yarn vomit, but I make a point, this is kind of a trick, when I'm at the store to find one that might have a thread sticking out. Hey, I don't know, what is that, frugal? I've had a lot of yarn vomit, and you know what was the worst yarn vomit I think I've ever had, and it was consistent. It's living in my stash outside now, which pretty much is kind of the step before somebody takes it off my hands and before it just goes away. It's my Mainstays yarn from Walmart. I don't like it. I don't even know if I'm gonna like it for blanket yarn. It's got no drape whatsoever, and the colors are pretty, it's soft, but it's got no drape, and it has no squish, so it's so dense. The fabric is so dense. If you're looking for that, it's totally awesome though, and we'll probably be going through that. I just put it in a tote and put it in the garage for a minute because I was cleaning up my craft area, and I'm like, I just can't with you right now, Mainstays yarn. I tried to make the Winifred shawl with it, with a DK weight, but the fact that it had no smoosh, and I don't know if I'm using a really great term for smoosh, but basically, you know how you can have a lofty yarn like Lion Brand, like Vanna, how it looks big but it smooshes down so it doesn't make a massive fabric after you've crocheted with it, and it's still soft. Well, this did not smoosh down at all. That is a dense strand of yarn. So that was just my experience, but I did use 5 of the colors in my project. I started with the medium gray heather, I went to the teal, the evergreen, the royal blue. So I guess I used 4 colors so far. And that's where I'm like, this isn't gonna work for me, which is a bummer because I went back and I got 6 more balls of yarn in hopes of being able to do the Winifred shawl. So it is what it is, and it's all good, but I digress. We were talking about my fasten off. So AddyDae Designs has the Mapleton Shawl, and I decided I wanted to make that in my mandala yarn in Wood Nymph. Let's see, I have the second ball. I worked really hard to make sure I only used 1 ball. So this is Wood Nymph. Isn't it pretty? It's so squishy. It's about a DK weight. It's a number 3, so if it was number 4, it'd be worsted, so it is smaller than that. And you get 150 grams, I remember that much. And so that's a little bit more. But so you get 5.3 ounces, 150 grams, and that adds up to 590 yards, which is a lot. So I wanted to use one cake of this because it looked like I should have been able to. And it worked. This is how much I had left. Isn't that cute? That's some yarn chicken right there. I won. I'm gonna make myself a badge, a little embroidered badge that said I won yarn chicken, because that right there is winning. So here she is, my Mapleton out of my mandala and wood nymph. I used a size I clover hook. This is her. Now, this is not the way it would normally turn out, but that little motif right there is straight out of the pattern, and I could not be more pleased with it. I love it. I love it so much I hit them with an iron to kind of melt them so that they would keep their shape. I adore it. So I started on this side, and I got through the pink, and then I got to the center. Weighing the ball, I could tell where the center was. And once I got to about there, I realized that me trying to get a deeper shawl more quickly made less than a right angle. So seeing as there wasn't going to be a right angle, I figured I would take advantage and use short rows to come along the middle so I would have a rounding. See the little V there? That's not part of the pattern. Then, that was easy. Did a little straight up and down in the middle. The hard part is always coming back, isn't it? And making sure you don't run out of yarn. I did have to pull out 2 times, but only for about 8 rows, which is nothing at this point. So I just used short rows. There was no math then. I just eyeballed it. I knew how many stitches I was up to. I think in the middle I was up to, before I started doing the short rows, I was up to 55 stitches. So I think I just divided that and did 6 sets of short rows on each side. So I divided 55 by about 6, you know, it's not even. But then I went up and down the complete edge in the center, because otherwise if I used the same hole to increase and decrease with short rows, I was going to be a big hole in the middle, and I didn't want that, especially since I didn't do the math, so it wasn't going to be mathematically equal. That'd be really awkward looking. And I'm really pleased with it. So I came back up, and then my first attempt I did not decrease enough, and it was not shrinking fast enough. My second attempt, of course, polar opposite, I was decreasing too fast and it looked weird, and I was gonna run out of yarn before using much of it. But long story short, I wanted to use all the yarn I could, and then I got it just right. So I ended up, there's no color repeats except at the very end, which is just perfect. I could not be more pleased. And the yarn, very, very pleased with the yarn. It has a slight halo. I'll show you on the shawl. I was going to show you on the ball, but just so you can see it works into a halo. See its little halo? See it against my hair? Isn't that pretty? Oh, it's so fuzzy. It's 100% acrylic and super soft and super drapey. It's just wonderful. If I had to think of something that it was like, I would say, I don't know. I can't say as I've seen anything with such a cute little halo on acrylic, and it has such great drape. It almost acts like something that has a little bit of wool in it. It's really soft. But I am excited. I can totally see, this took me a day and a half. It took a night's crochet and then the better part of the next morning's crochet. So I could see this as a Christmas present for a couple people. And how fun are these mandala balls? These cakes are amazing to work with, just seeing the color changes so frequently and not having them repeat at all. I can't stand it when you have 2 repeats of one color but not 2 repeats of every color. That bugs my eye so much. And it ending and starting on the same color is just perfect for me. Yay, mauve. So I need more mandala cakes. I'll be going to the Walmart. I almost picked up a couple the other day, but I didn't let myself, because if I had 2 of these at home, it was before I made the shawl. If I had 2 of these at home, I did not want to go and get more of them if I hadn't used the first ones I purchased, right? So, no. Okay, so that is that. The pattern was awesome. Her pattern is basically for something that is straight across the top, increases a lot less drastically than mine did along the bottom. And you can use any kind of yarn, any weight yarn, and it's so simple. And this motif, I wouldn't have thought it was so simple. I had memorized after 3 of the motifs, and I'm not a super fast memorizer. So the pattern, I couldn't ask for more. I liked it very, very much, and it's paid for, and I did buy it, so I would say totally worth the money, especially since I'm gonna make these for Christmas. And I think right now, if you took part in her along, she has 30% off. I don't know if that's for everybody or if it's just for people who took part in the along, but she gave 30% off other patterns, so I'm hoping that's still on for Friday, because I'm not shopping till Friday. So, yay! My first finished object of the podcast, and I'm so pleased. Okay, I have another one. Do you guys ever watch crochet tutorials in other languages? Is that weird? I just find them so relaxing, especially if they don't have a lot of chit chat, maybe like some nice music in the background while I'm doing other things or while I'm knitting or crocheting. Well, the other day, one of my favorites is Jin, and she has a bunch of very simple tutorials on YouTube, and I just love the way she does them, and they're so clear, and I love her very much. I watch on a regular, so I believe this is a new one. I'm almost certain it's one of her newest ones. I was watching the other day, and she calls it her neck warmer. Crochet Networker actually calls it Choco Knitting. I'm not sure if Choco Knitting means crochet over there, but regardless, it's awesome. So she used a cake of Caron cakes, like one of the first ones that came out in Fairy Cake, and I love that colorway. It has all the aquas. It was just so beautiful, and she made this really simple pattern into something that just looked so useful. And so I immediately put down what I was doing and went off, and even though I am totally supposed to be working on other things, I had to just start it. Used as an eye hook, 1 Caron cake, and this is it. I started with the chartreuse, worked myself around. When I got back to the chartreuse, I fastened off, and she showed a way of fastening off so you don't buckle your little openings, because basically, and it's a free pattern, so I don't feel bad about sharing, it's basically chain 4, double crochet, chain across, 2 double crochets, the last one being in the 3rd chain of the previous row's chain 4. So it's open. I love how double crochets always get that herringbone look to them. Isn't that pretty? I was captivated. I had no control, and it took about an hour and a half. I could have kept going. I have this much left. It is the Jelly Roll colorway of the Caron cake, just the plain one. There's so many now. Have you guys been to Michael's? Oh gosh, I need a tea cake. They're like bulky weight, and they all have this grayish this grayish glaze over their colors. So beautiful, but I can't figure out what I want to make with one, so I can't buy one until I do. But they're running low on Earl Grey, and I love it. I have to get online and see about something. I would think a corner to corner, but I think that would take several of them, and they're not low price for what they are. I think that those are 100% acrylic too. This has about 20% of wool in the original Caron cake. But do you see the speckle? I don't know if the speckle's showing up. Let's see. Boop. It's so pretty. I could not be more pleased. She's so pretty. I'm going to be making more of these. I'm thinking Christmas already. Forgive me, guys. I don't mean to be putting the fear of Christmas in anyone, but when you find something that works up really fast that you enjoy making and you could do other things while you're making it, you think Christmas, right? Or at least birthday gift knitting, putting some gifts away just in case surprises happen. in progress. My socks, I don't think my socks got a bunch of attention. I did a little bit on my sock knitting for the car, and aside from that, I'm still waiting to start on my second sock. This was Amber's back to school socks, Rose City Rollers. This is Koi Pond in Mustache Yarns, and I haven't even cast on. But I will. There is time. Aside from that, what else have I been making? I really struggled back and forth with whether or not I should share one of my projects, well, all of my projects from a swap that I'm making. I'm just gonna say, kitty kill, if you're reading this, just on your way. Okay. Because I have to share. I don't want to send it off and not share with you guys. And I'll take pictures, but it's so much different than if you have it with you at the time. So I'm gonna share, but nobody tell. Okay? When I do a larger swap, I get a bag and I fill it up with stuff, and that way I have everything with me for when I start making it, and I can craft anywhere and just put it all away and not worry about making a big old mess. And I have everything with me, so I have the hooks, everything I buy for the swap package goes in there, so nothing gets lost and misplaced or used in another package, and I can just mass craft and take it from there. So I have been in skull overload, guys. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I love this bag. It has so much fun in it. I'm still heavily making for her. It's 13 things, so I think I'm at 10, and not all of it has to be crafted. I think so far I have 1 day of uncrafted just presents, and I think I only needed to craft like 4 things, and it's supposed to be mini things of Halloween, so I don't think I even needed to craft full-size things, but she'll forgive me. Now, first off, I started with something I've made before, although it is in a slightly different direction than it had been prior. This is my skeleton garland. It's crocheted. There is a link on my Ravelry page. There is lots of pom-pom embellishments, but it's my Day of the Dead garland. Oh, isn't she pretty? I love it. Check out those little skeleton guys. Basically, purchase pom-poms, size large pom-pom maker, the Clover pom-pom maker. It's strung up on 2 strands of size 10 Aunt Lydia's crochet thread. And these guys are not straight from the pattern, but very inspired by a pattern. And when I'm inspired by a pattern, I always have to give it credit, because as a pattern person, you know, you can't go around not giving credit for patterns, right? So that I made that, I'm so pleased. I need one for myself. I already have 2 of the ones made for me, and then so 1 more and some pom-poms, and I could totally make one for me. And I need to. I'm decorating after I finish editing today, because if we're doing Vlogoween, I have to be decorated, right? By the way, please forgive me in advance. I wear glasses almost all the time, and I'm probably going to be sharing a lot of glare with you guys. The reason I wear contacts is because glare like crazy, but I can't knit and crochet with my contacts in very well, because I see really well here without anything, and then I'm blind past that. So I won't be, so when I'm wearing contacts, I don't see as great here. I could see, but it's not as cozy. So I'll probably be in glasses a lot, and I hope I don't glare you guys. I don't know if that's irritating or not, but I have not figured out. There are people and videos that share with you how to not have glare. I have not yet functioned at that level. So hopefully I don't blind anybody. Oh, I also made her a little flower crown for one of the days. Isn't that cool? They're completely different from the front and the back. I hope she loves it. And I took that skull pattern, and I don't know if you guys are going to want me to go through how I made this. Totally up to you. But I made her a little skull beanie. So I made the skull. Then I took some super simple stitches to make it more circular. It's more of an oval, but it's circular. And then I just made a really simple beanie out of it. I knew how much I had to increase to be a regular slouchy beanie. And then some single crochets at the base. I think that I should have done a reverse single crochet as an edging because this curls a little bit, but I kind of like it. I think it gives it a little bit of interest, like a little lip to it. And this is Encore, I think Plymouth brand Encore in fuchsia. Really pretty hot pink. And it's got 25% wool and 75% acrylic. So it'll be really easy for her to clean up, and it's nice and soft. It's not amazing soft. I mean, it's not like an alpaca or anything, but for an acrylic, for being washable, it's got nice drape and it's super soft. I'd say it's on par feel-wise with Lion brand Vanna. So there's one. And then I made this. I figure maybe I'll go through everything I made for Vlogtober, because I made this guy too. This is straight out of her Pinterest. Isn't he cute? I didn't make that. That's purchased straight out of Michael's. I looked for some vintage ones this weekend when we were out and about shopping. I couldn't find one, which is a bummer. I think it would have looked really cool with something kind of tea stained and yellow. But these are little felt guys. They had plastic ones on some of the samples on Pinterest, but I thought these looked a lot cooler because they're not shiny. Let's see. We're just trucking. I already shared her spider web shawl, right? I got lots of compliments on that, guys. Thank you. She does like her sugar skulls, so I got her one of those. You're a little dark. That's from Michael's. I went to town at Michael's. They had their, what I call progress keepers for half off, so they were $1.25. I bought all the ones I got all the ones I love, and I got all of them. So I have a bunch of coffee cups. I have a bunch of the sugar skulls. What's the other one? There's another one I love. I have a bunch of now. But, oh, it was $1.25. Got her some socks, which I'm gonna match up with some like Halloween scented lotions. I also got her a big bag of antibacterial hand stuff because I'm a germaphobe and I like to share that with people. What else? What else? Oh, the bag it's in. A lot of people know I'm not a great sewer. Well, I guess I could be, as much as anybody could be. I have what I need to do it, but I just don't enjoy it so much. I still buy the fabric. I'm a fabric hoarder because I have nothing to do with that fabric. But I have it. I have the machine out. I'm constantly like prepared to start making a bag, and I just don't, because I really just don't enjoy sewing or cutting out fabric or measuring or anything of that really. But I do enjoy project bags, and I love to paint and draw. So this is what I usually give people when I give them bags. I find a picture of something that I think they'll love, usually on Pinterest, and I freehand it. So basically I doodle it, and then I doodle it. Whatever lines I like, I go over, because they have markers that disappear when you spritz them. So whatever lines I like, I go over with Sharpie and permanent marker, like fabric marker. And then I use paint once it's dry. It's acrylic paint diluted with fabric medium, and I do that on wet fabric so it runs kind of like watercolor, and none of the colors are very strong, because if you make a mistake on something diluted, it looks artsy, and if you make a mistake on something strong and not diluted, it looks like a mistake. That's just my opinion, but isn't she pretty? And there's not a perfect mark to her. So it says never say die, and it has these little blackbirds. She loves crows and ravens, and she loves The Bride of Frankenstein and old vintage movies, like horror movies. So I'm thinking she's gonna like it. I like it. I want one. It looks like brown in the background on the moon, but that's actually metallic gold, and every one of the black lines that you see is actually lined with silver Sharpie also, so it's got a lot of sparkle to it that isn't showing up. But yeah, so that is that. And I have, oh sorry guys, totally knocked you around there. But I have more coming. I think, like I said, I'm on 10, and I am prepping a box that I'm making for her, and a little amigurumi of a monster that she loves. Something else too. I got her some candy. Oh, and a dishcloth. And I think that should round out 13 days really nicely if I buy her some presents on Friday. But I'm making myself stay home until Friday. I keep mentioning it and not buying anything because I need to make her box. I cannot divert my attention any longer because I got the worst thing in the world the other day, which is the best thing in the world the other day. I got my Christmas swap package. I don't know if you guys know what that means. I am in a Halloween swap for 13 things, and then I'm in a Christmas swap for 12 things, and I received my Christmas box from my partner. And I haven't even started. I haven't finished Halloween, and I'm not late by any means, but it got me a little nervous. I'm like, oh, these things are cropping up. So I need to finish Halloween so I can start Christmas. So we're going to be doing a lot of things together this October, and I'm kind of excited. It's a great time to do this because Christmas is distracting when you're a mom. There's a whole lot of things you need to do, but October, we can make that our own, right? I have my tank top in my little bag here, my trailer's bag, and I haven't made a bunch of progress on it, but I plan to. I think it's because the color is so yellow and so summery. It kind of, sorry. It kind of has me not wanting to make it right now because, I don't know, it'll be great in spring, right? But I need to make it. I have a bunch of single crochets ahead of me, but I can do it. I just need to place it out somewhere where I can see it. So as soon as I finish my package, I'll be making that, and a bunch of my bamboo pop left over. That's what I'm using. It's 50% cotton, 50% bamboo, and she's been made on a 3.5mm hook. So that's an in progress that we're just going to hide back where it came from because I haven't done very much with it. And my Liula is living in my beautiful My Creative Garage bag. Have you ever seen cuter fabric in your life? I told her I love turquoises and purples, and she came up with this. It's beautiful. Let's see. Look at the fabric inside. You've got to see. Isn't that beautiful? And it's so squishy, and it stands up on its own. Great. Whatever she's using as an interface is amazing. It's not too bulky, but still soft and squishy, and it stands up on its own. It's like the best of all worlds. So if you get a chance, she's Vanessa Kind over on Instagram, and her podcast is called My Creative Garage, as is her shop. So inside is my Liula. I just have the one page of working pattern inside, and my pretty ball of cotton flowers. As you can see, I have not gotten very far into it. This stuff wants to tangle so badly, I gotta tell you. I had it caught around something when I was working on it this week, and I was scared because it was really tightly caught around like the leg of a chair. And I didn't think I was gonna get it back because it's basically just 3 strands of thread held together. I don't know if that's gonna focus, but it's just 3 strands of thread, and beautiful, and love the way the color gradients are going, but I want it to be done so I know I don't destroy the yarn. So let's get into it. Here's where I started, and there's where I'm at. I am in very deeply into my second color. You can't tell because the light behind me, but this is a good deal darker than this purple, and I have quite a bit of purple to go. It's going to get really dark before it turns blue. The yarn is delicate, and I'm okay with that. because I just have to treat it well. The pattern is, well, it functions. Like, it turns into what it's supposed to, but it's, and I'm gonna go really fast, really wordy. Like, you do a full page every repeat, and it repeats every leaf, and that's a lot of words, which is great for some people. Some people are reader crocheters, and some people are like, they like everything really basic, just 1DC and then like comma, 1DC comma, you know. And I'm a chart maker, so as soon as I got this, around the time I finished my first repeat, I realized I'm not going to make this if I keep up this route, and it's going to take a really long time. So I went ahead and made my other shawl, because I was going to take part in the September shawl along, because I'm not going to not take part in the September shawl along with Cottage crochet. So I had to make something else to make sure I was in there. And I wanted to make the AddyDae Designs one too, so I went ahead and did that first. So these got transposed. This was supposed to be first. So what I did when I came back to it was chart it for myself. So it's in my own little Melody shorthand, and I put that on an index card, and now I'm working from the index card. I also copied that into my bullet journal, which is amazing. I was watching Wool Jewel. She had a live podcast the other day, and it was so fun, and she mentioned that she put some information on all of her projects in her bullet journal. Mind blown. Why didn't I do that? I'm a severe bullet journaler, but I never did that. What a great reference of what you made that year. It's just like a page in my bullet journal. That's amazing. So I'm doing that from now on. So once I had it all charted and realized how small of an area it took to do so, I just put it on in my bullet journal so I can work right from it. And I have the index card as backup, just in case. So once I did that, started moving, because the pattern's awesome and it's so pretty. You can even see it looks like it shrank widthwise, because I just was not enjoying it over here. It was just kind of slack. It was work. I was paying more attention to the paper than I was my work. But once I had it written, it just tightened up, and it's so much prettier, and it's the same size hook. I don't know, I guess I was just tense or something, but it's not going to show. Once we're all done, it won't show, because it really does, being lacy, it really does widen up, and I'm not going to worry about that. We're not going back at this point. I'm really pleased though, and I could totally see me finishing this probably before the September shawl along is even over, so I'll get to enter too. That's my last work in progress. This next week I do want to pull out some socks though and finish a pair of socks. That's like my goal between me and you. I want to finish some socks in addition to making her Halloween package. Keep me focused. Keep me focused. I'm glad we're doing Vlogoween. You guys need to just comment on me. Hey, you made your package yet? Because if I worked really hard, I could finish it tomorrow. The whole thing. I don't know if that would include having homeschooling finished, but I think I could do it. So we're gonna keep strong. And just a little teaser, it's the creature from the Black Lagoon, and it's little and cute. So I have the felt and the eyes and everything already in here and ready to go. And I'm painting a box to go with it. It's drying right now. It just needs to have the shiny outside put on, and then I'm gonna Mod Podge one of her favorite pictures on there, and I might write a quote inside that she enjoys. I was gonna put velvet inside, but I decided I think a quote would be more fun, something scary for Halloween. And that's where I am. I do have this little guy, but he's hardly grown. I haven't gotten to work too much on this one. This is the Granny Square Top. It's a tank top made out of granny squares from, I'll put that up there. And it is made from Wool Like, which is loops and threads. And it's mostly acrylic, I believe, 100% acrylic if I remember correctly. And I really like the color. I could see me wearing this fall. So, because fall doesn't get that cold here. We won't be cold until after Halloween. So I could totally see me wearing the heck out of this month if I finish this. So pushing on. My Christmas swap, I have already planned out what I'm gonna send, so that's gonna be a little less tedious because, you know, it's a Christmas swap. Christmas stuff flies, right? I have a bunch of Christmas stuff to craft, and I have it all in my secret Pinterest board, you know, and I'm just ready to go. I've already collected all the things I need for it. It's pretty set, but I would like to have it behind me because I'm nervous. So that is my last in progress. First off, Kristen Lair from Yarngasm and Wool and Vine has taken that beautiful, amazing Oracle shawl that I was all excited about and made it a crescent. I'm so excited. Now I want the pie one and the crescent one, which is okay because she won't be out with the crescent one until November, and I could really see it being my Christmas shawl. Just shades of maybe maroon, a lighter and darker green, and either white, silver, or charcoal gray. I already see it in my mind. Oh, okay. Another thing I'm excited about is the PSL with Mel. That is my along that I have going on in the Melody Crochet podcast Ravelry group right now. We have a chatter thread and a fasten off thread. We have some finished objects already, socks even. Hello, amazing woman. You are awesome. And the most beautiful hat. Oh my gosh, it's a crocheted hat. You have to see this. Amazing. I need one. That is so cute. Really. And orange. I didn't know if anybody would stick with the orange theme. I'm really glad you did. We need some orange in the PSL with Mel. This is my Mapleton is my first fasten off, but I don't want to put it in there because I'm not going to win my own prizes. That's just wrong. Something wrong about that, you know? Besides, orange and brown are not my favorite. I was actually mentioning, because where's my prizes? Oh no, you're an avalanche. This is what I made to go on as prizes. There's 2 of them and they come with a cute little coffee charm. And this is the prize for the PSL with Mel. There will be 1 for the chatter thread, randomly generated, and 1 for the finished object thread, also randomly generated. And I hope that's why we're ending so soon. I really want this to be in somebody's hands so they can enjoy it in November. And then I put in there as a special side note, you only get 3 days to respond. I will be putting out on Instagram any way I can stalk the people that win. I totally will, and I want to give it away to the people that win first, but if they don't respond back, I really don't want to send this to a person in December. So I went for 3 days. Next time I'll be a little bit more relaxed and I get plenty more time, because I know some podcasts with prizes give you up to like 2 weeks before they redraw, but I don't want to have to send this to somebody in Christmas, you know. It's very pumpkin spice latte. So basically anything you're making that has anything to do with fall, just go ahead and enter it in the finished object thread, and I'll be drawing. I believe it's on the 16th. I'll enter above the date. So very excited about that, and so excited to see everybody's objects they're working on. So pretty. Okay. Also the 500 subscriber giveaway. I cannot believe we made it so quickly, guys. Thank you. And me and Lily Rain would like to thank you for making her the 500 subscriber. So I got together some gifts that people have sent to me for the subscriber giveaway. I kind of put it in people's ears over the last month, and this adorable bag came to us from Amanda at AmandasQuiltsnSuch on Etsy. Isn't that cute? Go darker. And she has such cute little bags that she has for sale on her Etsy shop. And then here are, you might remember, Ash from Vessel Yarns on Etsy had sent these in along with a little notepad, which is so cute. So the winner will get those too. They're really pretty. They look like watercolor painted glass. I need tea. I'm losing the voice. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. And you get 5 of them. Thank you, Ash. She's Original Knitter on Instagram. Wonderful, wonderful. Great little charms and markers on her, as well as the yarn is gorgeous on her Etsy page. And I wanted to give a little something too. So you get a cake of mandala, because I thought it matched the bag really well. See, looky, isn't that cute? So a ball of mandala from me, as well as a little row counter. I love mine, so I figured I'd get one for you guys too. And that will be drawn. There is a little 500 subscriber thread on my Ravelry group. Melody Crochet Podcast again is the group, is the name of the Ravelry group. Come join us, introduce yourself, and that's what it's going to be. Since it's our first subscriber number giveaway, just come on over, introduce yourself, tell us about you so we can say hi, and I will do a random number giveaway next. It's going to be hard because I'm going to be on every day, but I'll aim for it. Probably, let's give it about 2 weeks, and I'll let you guys know before I close it. Also, as part of the giveaway, we have been gifted from the lovely Loopy Stitch. You will also receive the pattern for Winifred Shawl. I couldn't believe it. I wanted to buy it for you guys, but she just gifted it to us. So sweet. And her name's Emily, and if you get a chance to see this shawl, I highly suggest it. It's beautiful. I'm making my own. I tried it on that Mainstays yarn. It did not work out. She suggests DK weight, but I think what we're gonna do is go for DK weight. I know that's creative, right? Using the actual size that they tell me to. It is a gradient of different colors, so it kind of needs to be a thinner weight yarn, because the bulkier just does not show how pretty it's going to be when it changes colors. It just was not working out. So I'm going to go ahead and make one starting probably next week. Depends on how deep I get into my Christmas along, unless I think she might like one. That would be some heavy spoiling, but she's worth it. She's pretty awesome. We'll think. Okay. Now, I did also want to let you guys know that I am dyeing yarn for Halloween. It is already dyed. I'd say about 50% of it's already dyed. Just scheming it up, and I'll be popping it on my Etsy shop, which is linked all over the place. If you are on my Instagram and you go to my profile, there's a link in profile for all of my links, and my Etsy shop is there. So feel free to go check that out. I will let you guys know when it's up. And what else do we have? Ooh. Okay, sorry. I love Sandra Cherry Heart. That's no secret. And she had a couple years ago the spicy, I think it was Spicy Life blanket. It was so pretty. And now, a couple years later, she has come out with the sequel, A Spicier Life, and I cannot wait to make it. I have my yarn already set aside, and I'm going to do the stitch count she suggests, but I'm going worsted, and I go up probably 2 hook sizes because I want some drape. Last time I went up only 1 hook size, but I'm going to go ahead and go up 2 hook sizes because I will be using I Love This yarn from Hobby Lobby, and I want to make sure that it's not too stiff a fabric this time. Hers was so drapey and beautiful and lacy, and I want more of that. So I'll probably be going with, I'll go J, might even be K. I will be swatching. Pretty proud of myself. Swatching. What's next, right? Anything could happen next if I'm swatching. Let's see. And my last one is Bob Wilson 123 has been away doing her moving and getting herself situated in her new home thing since February. But she is back with the cozy, I think she just calls it her cozy cardi, and she's making that up this week. And the pattern's out. It's a free pattern, and I'm definitely making one. It's a big granny square sweater with a really cute edging. My guess is there's some front post, back post double crochet going on in the edging, but I haven't seen it, so I'm guessing because it's kind of got a little rib to it. I need one. It's going to be my Rhinebeck because I'm not going to Rhinebeck sweater. So that is another thing I'm excited about this week. And then the final thing I did after going to Stitches, Texas, and being turned away because I went a day early, I went back, which was fun. It was very small. My little one went with me, and he loves StevenBe. If you guys ever get a chance to meet StevenBe, I highly suggest it. He is just one of the kindest men ever. My son loves him. I mean, my son loves people, but he is so excited about StevenBe, and he's one of his favorite humans. He just loves him to pieces. And StevenBe is so sweet to him. He gave him a hug. He saw him a few times walking around. He talked to him about school. He talked to him about what he's making. It just took a bunch of time. It was so sweet of him, and he's just awesome. And so are his makes. Oh my gosh. So gorgeous. So that was awesome. And I got to hug Marley Bird. I know. I was so excited. She made me want to go home and make a video. I love her. She has a great podcast too. So that was my highlight. I didn't buy a darn thing. I think my little guy did. I think he got something. I forget. But I didn't get anything, and that's okay. I just wanted to go and walk around. It was really small, and Madeline Tosh wasn't there, which it made me sad. And Jinx Yarns couldn't be there, which hopefully she'll be at the next yarn thing, because I love her yarn. Oh, sorry. I'm just thinking about her colorways. Okay, I lost it there. Aside from that, this week I'm just going to be preparating, because I have 2 advent swaps that I'm going to need to ship out soon, and that is where we put 24 minis, 1 full-size hank of yarn, and 24 hopefully little gifts with the minis together, and send them off to our partner. And I'm in 2 of those, and I think 1 has to be shipped out. The Spicy Homemaker one has to be shipped out in about a week and a half, and the other one, I think I have 3 weeks for that, but I'll send them together, and a lot of their yarn will probably be very similar to the other one, you know, factory style. So it's so fun though, because then every day for December up until Christmas, you have a little present to open up, and then I'm going to turn them into a shawl, probably a crocheted shawl. Last year's was knitted, and so this year will hopefully be crocheted. And so I have a bunch of packages to get together, and I'm so excited to get mine, because like I said, as a mom, around Christmas time, as a parent, you have a whole lot of stuff to do for other people, and it's really nice to take a minute, do a little something fun at the very beginning of the day with your coffee, and then refuel for the day. So thank you guys. If you have any questions or comments, please put them below. I hope that you have a great day. I will be seeing you very soon. I hope you'll join me. Take good care. Bye guys. It's getting late. I need more caffeine.